Okay, so a bit of a rant. Just out of curiosity, comparing prices, because again, I am on disability, so I am on a very fixed income, especially with inflation right now. My money doesn't go nearly as far as it did a couple of years ago. So I went in for just a price comparison for the veterinary clinic that's here at our local Tractor Supply for preventative care. And I was curious about the different things that they offer. And I was actually looking to maybe move over from my vet, even though I love my vet. It's very pricey whenever it comes to having two dogs going to it, and I just wanted to see if there was going to be a good option to kind of spend a little less but still get good veterinary care. FYI, I will still be going back to Village Vet here in Lexington, because at least there I am respected. And so anyway, whenever I went in, I had general, because we had just finished up with his vet visit today, as well as we walked into PetSmart and walked around before we then went over to Tractor Supply with the intent to just speak with the veterinary staff there. And the moment that I brought up that my dogs are also on homeopathic stuff, now, my dogs have everything that they need already, but he's acting as if I don't vet my dogs. I mean, again, I just took General to the vet to get his vaccines updated and stuff like that. And Alexandra has her appointment next week to get her last vaccine, the rabies vaccine, because she could not get that until after she was 16 weeks old. And the vet there at Tractor Supply here in Lexington was extremely rude and unprofessional. And I'm there trying to then just talk to the vet tech, and he is rolling his eyes. He storms out of the room whenever I mention the fact that I supplement some of my dog's care with homeopathic to go in adjacent to what they already have. He just went off on the fact that I even brought up homeopathics. And I'm like, my breeder started the dogs, my puppy that's at home, off on homeopathics. Her teeters were ran. She's got a good immunity. And he would not let me get a word in edgewise. Again, I was just there to find out what the pricing would be to go there. And I was talking about the inserts as supplements to go in adjacent to anything that General has already. I was saying that he's already on that. He didn't even give me the opportunity to say, hey, General is fully vetted. And he is there, he's just going off, and I'm like, this is not being professional. I am a customer trying to find a vet to work with me on my dogs. I got a new one, and he said that the fact that I even used any homeopathics was saying that his profession is garbage, and I did not say that. Again, I'm coming in to see what the pricings would be if I would end up bringing my dogs there instead. I mean, if I wasn't going to do proper treatment of my dogs, then I wouldn't have come to him at all. But he's acting as if I plan on walking around and giving my dogs all sorts of diseases and stuff like that, simply because I also used homeopathics, and he was like, there's nothing wrong. And the woman, again, she was, I told her I apologized that she had to be a part of that whole interaction, that she was very professional, and I thanked her for her behavior. But, I did state that, my contract with the breeder stated that I could have certain vaccines at certain ages, which is what I've been doing. And he's like, well, you can just throw that contract out. It wouldn't be supported by law. I was like, yes, it is. The reason is because her breed does tend to have reactions if they're not on a different schedule. There's scientific evidence. And I even stated that, there are different studies in different countries. The U.S. is not the only country that does any scientific studies, by the way. Sometimes you have to leave the U.S. Studies behind and look at other countries, because in this country, everything is very heavily dependent on who's funding, on what you're going to find out on both sides. So it's good to get studies from outside of our little U.S. bubble. And the fact that I brought up that my dogs are also on NSAIDs, and he was like, those things aren't, they don't do anything. I'm like, there's studies in other countries that says that yes, they do. And he brought up vaccines for people too. I'm like, look, my son's vaccine injured. And he rolled his eyes. I was like, he's actually on disability for being vaccine injured, which means the government checked. He's like, well, what vaccine injured him? I was like, the MMR. He was one child on Friday, and he was a different child on Monday. That's not normal. And he rolled his eyes again, and he stormed out. He stormed out of the room 3 times, and then whenever I was talking, he stormed out again and held the door open. I was like, see, you're storming off again. He's like, nope, I'm holding the door open so that you can leave. I was like, who said I was done talking? Again, that is a very unprofessional behavior. I could not believe that this is someone who's supposed to be wanting to help dogs. Well, how are you helping anybody if you insult their owners to the point where they don't come to your clinic? So again, I never raised my voice, but I was speaking like I am right now. Very matter of fact. You could tell I was pissed off, but I did not raise my voice. And so I tried to maintain a certain level of politeness, even though he really pissed me off. And I told the vet tech that I wanted it documented that his unprofessional behavior was why I left. So we may explore, other locations, again, because I'm on a very fixed income. General's veterinary visit today alone was $142, which, again, I only bring in $1,050 every month. So the percentage of his vet visit today versus what I bring in is pretty damn high. So I wish that I would have been able to have had a polite conversation with his vet there at Tractor Supply, but he was extremely rude, and I wanted to make sure that I put that out there for anybody in this area who is thinking about going out there. I'm not going to work with someone who can't be polite and professional, because that's what you're supposed to do. Whenever you're on the job, whenever you're on the clock, you put your personal beliefs and your attitude aside for your job. He was so unprofessional that, if I was a first-time pet owner and he spoke to me like that, I probably would be one of those people that didn't ever vet my dogs at all. Because, there are a lot of people like that. And it's veterinarians like that who cause it. So, he upset me. And I had to put this out there because no one should have to be subjected to that whenever they're just going in to ask about getting their dog's vaccines and preventative care. Again, if I did not want to do anything, I wouldn't have been there in the first place. But he was treating me like I was some sort of pariah and that I was stupid. That I even attempted to add homeopathics to my dog's treatment plan. General's pretty damn healthy. Alexandra's healthy. She came from a vet, or a breeder rather, who worked with her vet to make sure that all of her dogs were healthy. And I am trying to maintain that. Again, that's why I went to go see this vet at Tractor Supply in Lexington, North Carolina, because I just wanted to continue my dog's veterinary care just at a little bit of a cheaper cost. And I was very frank about, this is what I'm here for, and this is what I also do. And the fact that I do something that he doesn't agree with, he's going to go off. Again, he walked out of the room about 3 times, and then on the 4th time he opened the doors, basically trying to kick me out. That's not what a professional would do. And again, I did not scream, I did not shout, I was speaking like I am right now. And yes, you can tell I'm miffed off. This is how you speak without actually screaming, but letting people know that you're pissed off. So, I just had to take this moment to vent. And, I may never go back to Tractor Supply for anything because I am so upset at the way that vet handled my conversation with him. But again, I turned to the woman. I told her I appreciated her professionalism because she was actually speaking in a way that conveyed that she respected me. And yes, she wanted more than what my contract with my breeder would allow. But she was able to speak on what she wished I would do without rolling her eyes, without storming out of the room, without getting up in my face and telling me that I was saying that his profession was crap, which I did not do. I did say that there are studies saying that there are benefits for the homeopathics too. But again, if I was going strictly homeopathic, why would I be there? So, I will not work with a vet who cannot have a civil conversation. And that's just, I'm not giving you money so that you can treat me like crap. So, that's it for right now.